Man, you got a beautiful house here.
Thank you.
Are you from Los Angeles originally?
Well, I was born in Colombia. I came here when I was 6 years old.
How did you end up in Los Angeles?
So my parents, they had this dream to come to the U.S. and unfortunately it became a nightmare because 2 weeks after we came to the U.S., our home got raided by law enforcement and both my parents ended up in jail.
How were you able to bounce back from that? Kind of like going through that at an early age. What was the turning point that really allowed you to kind of build all of this?
Well, at 10 years old, when they really put my dad away for a long time, I made him a promise that I'd take care of the house. And I became the head of household at 15 years old. And I got a chance to start working early, and then I started hustling.
What industry did you decide to pursue a career in?
Home security. I've had that now for 25 years, and I just started a solar company a year and a half ago, which just happens to be the 20th fastest growing company in Inc. 5000 magazine.
How old were you when you started your first business?
I was 21 years old.
21. And how old are you now?
I'm 46.
What's the most amount of money that your business has ever generated in a single year?
It'll be this year. We'll do 200 million.
Scaling is one of the hardest things to do as a business owner. A lot of people, they'll have that great idea, but they don't know how to scale and grow it. So how have you been able to scale to a 9-figure business?
It has to come back to influence, right? Because to bring in good people, they have to believe in you. You know, your dream's got to be so big that everybody's dream can fit inside of it. Because again, the good people, they have a lot of options, but you got to take the first step. Faith is really taking action before you have what you need. You know, I remember as soon as I started the home security company, I bought the minivan before I actually had the people. Because we used to go in minivans and I used to fill all of them up and we used to go door to door. I didn't have a team yet, but I bought the minivan knowing that the people were coming. When you put money behind something, that's when you know you're committed. I call it a necessity level. A necessity level is this sudden willingness that untaps this tremendous amount of ability that you didn't know you had. That's why I've always been great at putting myself in pressure situations that increase my urgency level. I believe low stress is low performance. But when you put yourself in these uncomfortable situations, that's when that greatness that lies within comes out.
What's been your secret to sales? You know, you've sold hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue at your company throughout your career, but how have you really been able to land big deals with massive clients over all these years?
I've always gone out of my way to validate the business that I'm in to give me confidence. So like when I started selling home security, going door to door, I would look up articles of home invasions. I would look up fire accidents that were happening. And what that did is it filled me up with belief, with confidence. And that's important because the more certain person will always influence the less certain person. People don't have to believe what you're saying. They have to believe that you believe what you're saying, because everything's a transfer of belief.
You've generated hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue throughout your career. What has been the best financial advice that you've ever received throughout your lifetime?
One of the great things that I did when I first started was I would split my check 3 ways and I would live on a third of it. One would go towards IRS and savings, and then the other one would go towards a reserve account that no one could touch. Yeah. You could call me and ask me for money. To me, that reserve account did not exist. And that reserve account has always helped me through tough times, because in life and pain are inseparable, and you're gonna have to go through some tough times. Because I like nice things, but being able to cut it 3 ways allowed me not to live outside my means. Right. That said, I was huge on having nice things. It's what made me want to work hard. You know, I wanted to stand out. I wanted to be rare. You know, at 21 years old, I wanted to be the first 21-year-old in my city driving a Mercedes convertible. I didn't want to do it when I was 28, because by then everybody had a Mercedes, right? So just little ways that I would compete against myself. I mean, if you don't come from a rich family can come from you. And I made the decision in my family that I was going to be the one person that changed my family tree forever.